Chinese carburetor. I opened the coolant tank, and it was empty. You see how 160 euros just vanishes? That's the price for 2 valves. Honestly, this Aprilia is driving me insane. Perfect day to dive into fixing this little miracle. What we have here is an Aprilia Scarabeo 125. I still haven't figured out exactly which version. They didn't label it properly. Long story short, it's a Rotax engine. If you're curious, it's a full-on wild ride. Brought in by a subscriber who said, "It used to run great, everything worked fine, but now we've got this." It starts instantly, works quietly and almost smoothly. But the moment you twist the throttle, wow, it dies. So if you're curious what's wrong with it, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, support the armed forces of Ukraine, and as always, let's get to work. Quick backstory. This scooter came from a subscriber who bought it, hoping everything would be fine. But, as it turns out, it arrived for repairs, not riding. It's either an Aprilia 125 or 150. I still can't tell for sure. The differences are subtle. The engine is Rotax, which is both good and bad. Good because it revs up to 14,000 RPM, which means it pulls like crazy. When Japanese and Chinese engines are already giving up, this one is just getting started, but only if everything works as it should. Bad news is that the engine is practically non-repairable. It's what they call a disposable engine. 4 valves per cylinder, 2 intake, 2 exhaust. And just the 2 exhaust valves cost 160 euros. That's the reality of maintaining it. But hey, it starts and that's something. The spark plug is new. TMMP8E. Clean. Compression without throttle. 8 with throttle. 14. So that's all good. Now the real problem? A Chinese carburetor. The original CVK27 is gone. No eco hoses, so clearly a fake. The idle screw is hidden under the filter box, meaning you can't adjust it without disassembling the scooter. And adjusting without a filter? Not happening. I called the owner. He said it was once sent for repair, so maybe someone borrowed the original carb. Who knows, but we've got what we've got. We'll try to tune it. It starts even without a filter, and which is a good sign, but it's sucking in air. The mixture screw doesn't respond. I think the intake hose wasn't fully connected. Let's fix that now and see what it shows us. Because if the compression is solid, maybe we can still get this carb sorted out. And let's take a look. Something's wrong here. The hose doesn't hold. It keeps slipping off. We're going to unscrew it now and see what's going on with the carburetor. I'll show you so you understand what I mean. See how it slips off and pop, and it's completely off. So now we'll try to secure it properly and start it up again. Turns out the clamp was too small. It didn't reach properly. They had just tightened it as it was. But we did it properly. I replaced the clamp. Now everything snaps into place. See this guide here? Originally, there should be tabs on the hose so it fits snugly and sits straight. But at least it's starting now. Not perfectly, but it works. Let's try adjusting it a bit more. Okay, it revs. Wait a second. One more try. Aha! Here I am starting and testing, and I forgot to connect the electric valve. I was wondering what the problem was. Alright, let's try again with the valve connected. I'll be tinkering with the carburetor settings. You ask, why aren't you showing it? Because it's a hassle. Quarter turn here, half turn there. I'll show it once I install the air filter and we see if it works. Before installing the filter, we inspect it. The filter is in excellent condition, never seen one like it. Just a square cutout stuck in place and forgotten. It's dry as a bone, but that's not a problem. No, we'll fix it. Inside is a mess. I'm worried it won't open up, but we have to try. It definitely needs cleaning. The filter itself is in great shape, and that's good news. The owner brought some Spanish sand with him. That's the state of our airbox. But we disassembled it, so now we can clean it and put it back together. We cleaned everything. Looks good as new. We moisten the filter, blow it out, apply some oil, you know where the link is, screw it back in, and test the startup.
There's a party in the jungle. There's a party in the jungle, baby. There's a party in the jungle. There's a party in the jungle, baby. There's a party in the jungle. There's a party in the jungle, baby. Jungle, 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 jungle. Party in the jungle. Da da the dance, 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 da da the dance.
Everything's in place, and it starts. Awesome. But then I noticed the temperature was rising. Open the cap? No coolant. And overheating a Rotax motor is way too easy. Thankfully, we caught it in time. By the way, this isn't just an Aprilia issue. All retro scooters, Giorno, Vino, have this design flaw. You can't get to anything without disassembling half the bike. Now we're accessing the thermostat, going to pour in coolant and check for circulation. The temperature is stable, fan turns on. Everything seems to work. We topped off the coolant, we'll fully replace it soon. Then I open the variator. Everything inside is great. Grease, rollers, bushing, clutch, belt, all looks new. Maybe no one's ever opened it before. We changed the gear oil, poured in Mobile 424. Great stuff used in tractors, should work fine here. No amount listed in the manual, so I filled it until it started to spill. This is what we've got. Here's our oil, the sweet little 5100, just like it should be. The filter is this kind, high flow. It's for the 185 model, but let me show you a little detail you need to know if you ever face the same situation and want to replace it. There's a newer 185 model now, which doesn't use these rubber seals, but ours requires them. So if you're dealing with the same issue and need an oil filter for an Aprilia, make sure you get the one with these seals. All right, let's move on. We've got two covers here. This one is for draining the oil, and there's another filter, a mesh one, that also needs to be removed, cleaned, and put back. The main oil filter is located, of course, in there, and getting it out will be fun. Luckily, that's not my job. That's Ilyuka's task. I've got a different one. Let me climb out and I'll show you. While Ilyuka is working on that, I'll check why our dashboard isn't lighting up properly. One turn signal works, the other doesn't. So, I'll stop here and get to it. If there's anything worth showing, I'll let you know. I wasn't planning to get involved with that, but surprise, everything was seized up. We heated it, used all sorts of tools, and still only managed to remove this one. Not the drain plug, but the one with the mesh. This is how it looks. That mesh part needs to be washed and reinstalled. There are two bolts, one with a regular hex and one with a smaller hex. The wrench was about to snap trying to loosen it, so we didn't push too hard. Didn't want to damage anything. Sometimes you actually need to tighten a bolt a bit before it'll loosen. Luckily, there's a washer in there, so the thread isn't damaged. Just snug it up a little, then you can loosen it without breaking anything. Something to keep in mind. Now we're digging out the main filter. Meanwhile, let me complain about this damn dashboard. You'd think removing the top panel would give you access, but no. You have to take off the entire front head assembly. Tons of random bolts, every tool in the garage needed. Even 14mm bolts in the headlight. And here's the worst part. Classic Italian design. There's a soft circuit board and the bulb that doesn't work is right here. Another one? This one. Doesn't light up either. But the real kicker? The clock. It's just a regular battery-powered one. You have to disassemble half the scooter to replace a battery. Only then will the clock work again. And if you think you can just remove the cover and change the filter, think again. Ilyuka is already getting ready to remove the exhaust. What should have been a 15-minute job turns into half a day's project. So enjoy watching us suffer while we keep pushing through. Ilyuka managed to remove the oil filter cover. Carefully, we didn't want to damage the thread or crack the engine. Let's see. Yeah, it's the right filter. Covered in grit and dirt. Glad we're changing it. We'll clean everything, put it back, and fill the engine with our oil. Next up, coolant. Hopefully, that part will be easier. This Aprilia will drive me crazy. I tried pouring in the oil, it didn't work. Second funnel, well, that's the same issue. The extension is too thick. If you're working on an Aprilia, use your brain. Found a little hose, connected it to the funnel. And now we're filling the engine properly. Don't forget to tighten everything and secure the bolts underneath. Now we're pouring in that nice, clean oil. Slowly but surely. Just a tip. You'll definitely need a small hose to reach the fill port. Otherwise, good luck finding a funnel that fits in there. We're pouring, then moving on to coolant. coolant's drained, I removed the hose here. I couldn't find the proper drain plug. Maybe it's somewhere in the manual, but I didn't see it. So I just pulled the hose and got coolant everywhere. Now the real issue, to bleed the system, you need to run the engine. But the fuel tank is in the way. Honestly, the engineers who designed this must be the same ones who made Yamaha, and if anything breaks, take it to a shop. And at the shop? They'll be scratching their heads too. Anyway, let's fill the coolant and see what happens. We poured in 1 liter, about 200 milliliters left. We're running the engine, and here come the air bubbles. That's a good sign. When bubbles stop and a steady stream of coolant starts flowing, we'll close everything up, reinstall the tank, and burp the system from the top hose. When the coolant flows clean and steady, no hissing, no bubbles, we'll top it off, and that's it. The system will be fully bled and ready. What'll happen in the end? We'll find out soon enough. Coolant is always a bit of a mystery. Things didn't go as planned. The engine warmed up to mid-temp. I waited for the fan, and then it started leaking. Not crazy hot, but we're tearing it down again. Looks like the thermostat isn't opening. The pump works, coolant circulates, but we're close to overheating. The short coolant line is hot, but the radiator is cold. And the line after the thermostat is also cold. Even though the sensor says we're heating up fast. So yeah, on that sad note, I'll wrap up this episode. It's already way too long. We'll be ordering a new thermostat. It's right there, and it's definitely not doing its job. We replaced the coolant. That's done. I'll test the fan, but I'm pretty sure it's not the issue. The system never even got to the radiator. That's probably why the scooter was sold in the first place. The owner said it stalled out after a ride. Probably overheated, but he didn't notice. So yeah, that's our little disaster. If you enjoyed this mess, leave a like, hit subscribe. And if you feel extra generous, a nice donation for the armed forces of Ukraine is always appreciated. We're off to hunt for a new thermostat. See you in the next episode. Bye.